so bad.
I had to watch that 2-3 times. I'm like, I am in on Bond.
Welcome to the iKnowBadeaux Podcast.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to the iKnowBadeaux Podcast, coming at you from the Play and Trade Studios. I am Mayor Dave Badeaux, the city brainer, and with me, as always, is my brother.
Buddy, you're hiding behind glass.
Well, I can just clip that in, I guess. Hello, Gabriel Johnson, save us.
Dave, I'm excited. Let's go.
Let's go. We're going to move quick. Hey, well, look at it. It's almost like we didn't leave.
Yeah, it is.
Kevin Yeager.
I feel like I was just here. I really feel like I was just here. Kevin Yeager. Glad to be here.
Kevin Yeager, folks. It is
I think you're the first person to introduce themselves. He just said, I feel like I've just been here. Kevin Yeager. I'm going to start doing that. Chop it up.
All right, folks.
And now we're pleased to bring you our feature presentation.
We are doing another Yeager episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, deep, meaningful, artistic.
Cinema,
folks.
Cinematic.
My God, what's Bond doing?
I think he's attempting re-entry, sir.
We are back with the second half of our 1977 to 1983, the decade, as Dave calls it, of the early 80s, late 70s. And we are going to talk about now two films that are wildly different in about every aspect.
Really? I don't see it.
Other than length. They're both extremely long. If you're interested, go back and take a look at the episode previous to this. Last week we talked about, with Kevin Yeager, two other films in leading up to this. First Blood, of course, the Rambo origin story, as well as Apocalypse Now, one of the greatest films of all time. Mm-hmm. Now we are moving on to the selections of one Kevin Yeager and the selections of one Scott Badeaux. Kevin, you have brought to us the controversial,
I think you could say that, yeah.
and long,
You could definitely say that.
and depressing as all goddamn hell
You could definitely say that.
film, The Deer Hunter.
Christopher Walken, Meryl Streep, John Savage, John Cazale, Robert De Niro, The Deer Hunter, a film by Michael Cimino.
Yes. Well, it was on one of the films on my list.
Yes.
When you asked me to narrow it down to several, this is one of the ones that made the cut. I ultimately made the decision we ultimately made the decision that The Deer Hunter was a good one to bring forward. Look, this is what you need to know about The Deer Hunter. A very polarizing film right off the bat. I will say that. There are people that think this is one of the worst films ever made. Mm-hmm. There are people that say this is one of the greatest films ever made. There are people that say this exactly is a reflection of the Vietnam era, what happened to people from Vietnam. There are people that's like, no, it's not like this at all, right? So it's a polarizing film. I think you'll get that right off the bat. This was also a film that was really kind of made at the time by kind of a bunch of no-names, right? Or some people that really, it's not big name directors, it's not big name, although big name actors. Not a big name score, not music by any of those well known, but it clicked a lot of bells for a lot of people, and it's a good film. It's basically, this is a war era film, like a lot of Vietnam War era films. It's not necessarily about the acts as much as it is the effects of war and on people. And the basic premise of the film is you got some buddies, you got three guys. They end up going over to Vietnam. obviously, we all know what happens in Vietnam, and then it's the struggles of what happens when some of them return. Not all of them return. And that's kind of part of the interesting writing of this. Is one of them doesn't really want to return.
Yeah.
Right? So that's an interesting nuance to the writing of this also. But I think one of the aspects of this film, the writing of this film, that sets it apart. And one of the reasons why I picked it, because I do believe this is a set aside, this is in its own category of Vietnam films, is virtually very little, a very small amount of the film is actually given to shooting in Vietnam and the acts of Vietnam.
Sure.
This is a long film. It's over 3 hours, right? So, and over half of this film is before they go.
Yeah.
And that is very, very unique to Vietnam films. Most of them are like, let's get them over there, let's get some fighting, and let's talk about what happens over there and when they come back. Yeah. This one's kind of the exact opposite. This one is more, let's really develop characters before they go. Let's get them over there, and then let's just give a little snippet of what's going on over there, and then let's get them back, and then let's talk about all that stuff. And that's what I think sets this, why I picked it. It's a standalone Vietnam film for that reason. Not really many others do that.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
And I like that you described it like that, because a lot of people call it a war movie or a Vietnam movie. I wouldn't call it a war movie.
Same.
I would call it a people movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right? It's 3 acts. You have the before, war, after. But the before, like you said, is about half the movie, and they spend so much time. I had never seen this movie. I absolutely love it. It was very tough to push through the wedding and all that. But I was dedicated. And
I love this film. I almost didn't get through the
first half.
it was tough to push through. It seems to drag on. But what they're doing is they're building characters. They're building the love for each other. They're building all that, and they do a fantastic job of it. I mean, in the last episode when we were talking about Apocalypse Now, Kevin, you said about Apocalypse Now that it makes you feel something. Mm-hmm. It changes you. And this absolutely did that.
Yeah.
Right? Dave, with also talking about that movie, you said that most of the time nowadays when we're consuming crap, we're on our phones and half watching because it's all just AI slop and it's the same thing.
Yep.
Not with this movie. Not at all. I mean, I was gripped in after the wedding.
After you made it
but
through
gripped
the
in
first
and could not
half.
take my eyes off it. So anxiety riddled.
Yeah.
So anxious.
Yeah.
So uncomfortable, but great acting. Fell in love with the characters and their bonds with each other. That this movie is about people. It's about how the war changed people, but it's about the people, not really about the war at all.
It's a cultural film almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really about the people, which is very interesting. And I will say this about the wedding scene. One, fuck the wedding scene. I put a clock on it. The wedding itself is only 5 minutes, which is interesting because when you go to a wedding, I just had my wedding. And I said, you got 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, you're losing everybody. So in this film, I was like, I'm going to sail along this wedding because I know I've watched this before. It's been years. I think it may have been 20 years since I've seen this. I'm like, I'm gonna put a clock on it. Wedding itself, only 5 minutes. The wedding dance is 20 fucking minutes long. It's 20 minutes long. And I will disagree in that it didn't need to be 20 minutes long. You could have gotten most of what they tried to do in that scene quicker than that, or more effective with doing other things. I will say though, and this is the one thing my take on this film. The director, in finding out some of the way that he does things, really set me down the path of like understanding why it's a little off for me, because this film is jazz. Whereas Apocalypse Now is rock and roll, and we're moving and we're crescendoing and we're boom. The way he shoots his films and the way this story progresses is absolutely jazz. When he will shoot a scene 10 times, hoping that somebody slips so he can add humanity into that shot. And so there's a lot of that in this film, where that whole sequence with the dancing is really just you trying to get humanity into these characters. And I'm a little too ADD for that scene myself.
No, but
moving on.
You wouldn't have cared as much at the end if you didn't have all of that dragging on at the beginning.
And it's more
they went to the same bar like 4 times from the time they got off of work to the wedding.
I will say this. If that's what weddings were at that time frame, it's like, all right, everybody get off work, get really fucking plowed. Right. Then let's go in, then let's get more plowed. And then let's get naked and run down the streets.
Right. It was a big deal back then.
Yeah,
that wasn't at all like your wedding.
No.
Dave is not Russian Orthodox.
No, I'm definitely not Russian Orthodox.
No, you brought up the director, though.
Yeah.
And I want to say it was Michael Cimino, and total artist.
Yeah,
Some
big
people
time.
would say he's a genius.
Little pretentious.
I say he's a fucking asshole.
Okay.
Okay, there you go.
Okay.
So Derek Washburn wrote the screenplay.
Okay.
They co-wrote the story together. Washburn wrote the screenplay. When it came time to the credits, Cimino tried to cut him out and just take all the credit for it.
Oh, really?
Washburn had to sue him to get put back in as the writer of the screenplay and won the Oscar for the best movie.
Yeah.
Then the film editor, Peter Zimmer, won the Oscar for the best editing. 600,000 feet of film, 121 miles of film,
Yeah, because he just kept shooting.
cut down to 18,000 feet.
Still too long.
Still too long. Still long. But Peter Zimmer did all that work. After it was done, Cimino said, he didn't do shit. I cut Deer Hunter myself.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
There's
What?
something
Just
going
a-
on with the
just
guy,
an
clearly.
asshole.
Yeah. I will say that there's a point in this film, and we'll talk about it later, where I just was like, oh, this guy's a pretentious asshole. So I'm glad you said that. But I do really like the idea that there are different ways to shoot movies.
Yep.
Apocalypse Now, go back and listen to the previous episode. Brando, being an asshole, made you have to shoot around him a very specific way. So that film has different styles throughout the entire thing. It fits really well to the story. But this, and the way that it's shot, and the idea that, oh yeah, she fell there. She really fell. She wasn't supposed to fall, but he added that in because he thought that that would make the film have a little bit more grounded humanity to it. I, as an actor myself, in the film, a wonderful film.
Yep.
That you should really watch, called People Talk. I'm sorry, it's not called People Talk. It's called Trust Me.
Yeah, what the fuck is that?
People Talk is up there. That's his other one. It's up there as well. Sorry. The film I'm in. Trust me.
Trust me, I'm in a film.
Trust me, I'm in the film. As I'm running to the vehicle, I slip and I fall. And I really appreciate the director keeping that in the film to show the humanity of me falling on my
And
ass.
the bumbling police.
I love the inclusion of the humanity in that scene. But I do find it interesting that this film has that kind of feel to it, where it is a little bit more meandering. It is a little bit more of like getting the notes and the staccato and a little bit of the piccolo from the corner coming in. But having said that, beautiful film. Beautiful film. Scott.
Oh, you got... Oh, you're gonna die, you motherfucker! You're gonna die!
So when we were given these movies, I decided, since they're all so fucking heavy, I said, I'm just going to watch all these movies as though they are comedies. That's why I thought Apocalypse Now was so fucking funny.
It was very funny.
Because I willed it, even though it was actually very funny.
Yes.
But I told my wife that. We were watching it last night, and she would just, at just the most random intervals, I'd just be like locked into what's going on in this movie, and then my wife would just go, ha, 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 ha. I'd be like, God damn it. Shouldn't have told you a thing.
This part is definitely funny.
Yeah, look at those guys trapped with underwater, just their heads hanging out, and they can't get out.
Oh, the horrors of war.
There really was rats in there, and he was yelling to the director that he was yelling, Mike, there's rats in here. He's yelling to Mike, the director, not Mike Robert De Niro's character.
I was wondering because it seemed so different.
Yeah, that
makes sense.
That actor was deathly afraid of there being rats because they just built a set along the riverbank.
Right.
And the rats are like, oh, this is a wonderful spot for us to hang out. Yep. Actor totally 100% afraid of the rats, and like I don't want to be around the rats. Then they put him in the thing, they lock him in there, and he starts yelling, Mike, there's rats in here. And thank God that the other character's name is Mike. You just think he's yelling for the other character. Right. There's rats in here. No, he's actually telling the director, hey, you asshole, there's rats in here.
Oh, God! I got all these rats in here!
I had an experience as a bartender a handful of years ago, because I haven't bartended for quite a long time now, where there was a guy that was in a POW camp, and he came in and it was late at night and he was drinking, and he started telling me the horrific shit that happened. Mm-hmm. And one of the things he talked about was that they would line them up and then stuff them into a culvert. And then you would be in the culvert for like a week or 2 weeks. And you would just sit and wait for your turn to get shoved into this culvert. And this guy is telling me this story, and it is like, it actually affected me so much to where I now have like claustrophobia just from listening to him say that, like, you just sat in a line and then it was your turn to get shoved into this thing. And then watching this film, I had that same experience of that anxiety where I was like, I because of hearing him talk about his experience with that, and then now having anxiety about culverts or, just any type of tight space with a little bit of claustrophobia, watching this and watching him struggle to keep his head above the water while yelling that there's rats in here, I'm like, okay, this scene can move on.
It's gripping. It is. It's an uncomfortable. There's a lot of this film that you're just in a really uncomfortable state of mind. There's parts of it that are beautifully written and cinematic and wonderful to look at, and there's other parts where you're just like, oh God, this is horrible, get me out of here. But you can't stop watching. You can't stop watching.
Beautifully acted.
It did. The acting is unbelievable. This film, you were speaking about how much film was used in this, but there's also, I think the director talks about it, that many of the most pivotal scenes were done in one take. There's like, that's it.
Yeah.
Nice.
One take. So the culmination, the ending, with the suicide at the ending or the shooting at the ending, that was one take apparently. So
one shot, one take.
Yep, one shot, one take. So crazy stuff. And really, I think for a lot of people, sadly, I think what they remember is like the Russian roulette. I mean, this is the Russian roulette movie. It's uncomfortable for people to talk about. There's been a lot of discussions about that Russian roulette is a metaphor for what war is, right? It's people in power forcing people to just gamble with their lives. You may make it, you may not. Don't know. We're moving on. If you're out, a new one's coming in behind you. So for me, it was it's most gripping. It's a part of the movie it's cringy, but it's man, makes you hurt. Really does make you hurt.
Yeah, this movie was very controversial when it came out. And it is interesting because we're so desensitized to it now that I wasn't as affected by that watching it this time around, partially because I knew what happens. But I was amazed at how we've just become so desensitized to the violence in films like this that you're watching and you're just like, oh, yep, that guy's gone. Next guy, oh, yep, he's done. Next guy. I will say this film needs about 47% more Christopher Walken. I loved him in
the
this
fact that
movie.
he disappeared for years. The story, this is such a great movie. Like, I wouldn't change a thing about it. Even the wedding scene.
Yep.
Keep it as is.
The wedding scene is come with us on our lives while we're inviting you into our culture, into our lives, and then something really bad's going to happen to these people.
And it does.
Right?
It does.
They don't think it's going to happen.
It's going to change.
Like they're setting this up, and that these people, these three guys, they think they're going to go over there and they're going to be okay.
They're being shown as heroes. They're going to be okay. At the wedding, their pictures are up. Everyone is at the wedding. And it's just one guy's wedding. But the three pictures of the heroes
they were leaving in like 2 days.
Yeah, they're the heroes, and they've got the flags draped alongside of them. These guys are leaving. They're going to be the heroes that leave. And even when Robert De Niro comes back, she's kind of parading him through the streets of, oh my God, our hero is back. And yet, the other two characters.
I think before they go, we're going to get through this. We're friends. We've been through hardship before. We're going to get through this. We're going to come back, and that war just dismantles them. I mean, it just takes them apart.
And I do find it. I do appreciate that it's a different style than you would think. It's not just like one person dies.
It's one person dies, one person's maimed, one person is the war hero.
Yeah. But I will say this: I like that it is more of an ensemble than anything. That the characters that are left behind also have the traumatic experience with it as well, which I find very interesting about this. That's what sets this film apart from other war films, is that it's about what happens when you come back, but also that a part of it is still trapped there.
And it's to all the other people who didn't even go.
And they still moved on a little bit,
but we're still affected. Meryl Streep's character is
she's destroyed. She's a wreck.
Just completely destroyed. So
speaking of the actors, John Cazale in this film, his fifth and final film.
Frodo.
Yep. He was in 5 films in his career. The Godfather, Godfather 2, The Conversation, Dog Day Afternoon, and Deer Hunter. All 5 nominated for Best Film.
Common denominator.
Right? Dying of lung cancer, right?
Died shortly after shooting. Yeah. They wanted to fire him because he had cancer, but he and Meryl Streep were engaged, and she said, I'll do this if he's here. If he's not, I'm staying with him at home.
Yeah, they couldn't insure him was the biggest thing. So, and in a film, you you can't shoot a bunch of the film and move on. I mean, you can. We didn't talk about it with Apocalypse Now. Harvey Keitel they shot weeks of footage of Harvey Keitel in the role for Martin Sheen. And then we're like, we're going to go a different route.
Yeah, I would have before casting Harvey Keitel.
I was like, interesting.
Yeah, but if you got a guy that is going to die of cancer and did, that's tough for a film. Like what do you do if that?
And they shot all of his shots first,
even
before and after, where everything he was in to make sure they could get them done.
Yeah. Let's talk about cinematography from this film real quick, though. This is the one thing about going back to these films that is so incredible. The cinematography is so amazing. We're so lucky to have the ability to go back and see what you could actually do with a camera. Because now it's all done with nonsense, and we'll talk about that with Moonraker. But the scenes in the mountains, incredible,
unreal.
That so beautiful. One of the reasons why I really like this film is because of that.
Yep.
The shot where he walks out of the cabin and just walks up on the mountain and the clouds are coming up.
Yeah.
One take, because the clouds were gone after that, and that was it.
Yep.
And
we got.
And
beautiful.
But the thing with it is this is film. You don't know if you got that.
Yeah.
Right.
Did it work?
Yeah.
Did you leave the lens cap on? Did you forget to delete the storage on the device?
Well, we forget that, there was an era where when filmmakers wanted to make a piece look beautiful, they went through tremendous hardship to do so. Yeah. And it was and that's why you didn't see it. And there's a lot of films that you watch from that era that just not that good. But then you see something that has all of the dynamics clicking of score and cinematography, great acting, great writing, great storytelling. You got all the parts together. It's gold. It's lightning in a bottle.
Yeah. Yeah. Final takes on Deer Hunter.
The shady French businessman who got, the Russian roulette stuff going was also one of the gentlemen at the dinner table at the plantation in Apocalypse Now.
I didn't know that.
So.
Didn't know that.
Yeah. Rightfully so.
Yeah.
Never left. Just stayed there. His plantation got burned, and he's like, we'll do some Russian roulette. Why not?
So I got a question, though, real quick, if you got a little time. So Deer Hunter came out in 78, won 5 Academy Awards. Huge. Nominated or won every single thing. But let's face it, 1978, a little bit of a soft year. You got Grease. You got you got a couple of Dawn of the Dead, actually. You got that in there. I don't know why I looked at you for that.
He's the guy.
But
you looked at him rightly.
Then you got 79. So you got Mad Max. You got Apocalypse Now. You got Alien. You got Escaped Alcatraz. You got Breaking Away. How do you think, question for the group, how would Deer Hunter have stacked up against those?
I don't know if it would have stacked up on a general release in 78. I think how they did it by dripping it into like one theater in LA and then they put it on, with the teaser, and it just gets some people talking about this controversial movie that wasn't released and was finally released widely in 79. It just raked the awards. I don't know if it would have. It was a July release.
Maybe not.
I don't think it would have. I think this film, it was a perfect move, right? They showed this film and it did not do well. And then that's where they came up with the Oscar baiting was, okay, we've got to do this differently. We have to release this film differently and go specifically towards that audience. And it was a brilliant move because I will tell you can't just get a general audience to go Deer Hunter. Well, okay, I love to do this. I go out and I like to throw up our polls, and a lot of times people don't know why I do it.
I was so mad at this poll,
but that's why. But I did it because I was like, all right, here's the deal: Platoon, Apocalypse Now, The Deer Hunter, and what was the other one? Full Metal Jacket. Yeah. So 4 incredible war films, all wildly different. But I put it up there and I was like, one's got to go. And I was like, I want to see what happens here. I knew it was going to be the Deer Hunter, but I want to see what happens here. The Deer Hunter was the odd man out.
A week ago, I would have voted for the Deer Hunter.
And that's because majority of people have not seen this film. And those that
Or
do,
they started watching it and gave up.
I don't even say gave up. I'm going to say actively their body just shut down. It's like, you will not consume this product. Anyway, but even those that do get through it, polarizing.
Yeah,
Love it or
100%.
hate it. So you are immediately dividing. So the reason why I put those things up is because you can almost draw a line through it and go, okay, most people haven't seen this. Those that do, 50% of them are not going to like it. 50% of them are going to say it's the greatest thing they've ever seen.
It's one of the best films that most people have never seen.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd never even heard of it
Yeah.
before this.
It was the one that I didn't want to watch it. I've seen this film a couple times and my recollection of it was daunting experience.
It took me a couple days to come down.
Yeah.
100%.
Daunting.
Altered state effect. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, final go on it. Are we star, no star? Gabriel Johnson.
Absolute star.
Scott.
I'll give it a half a star.
Half a star. Okay.
It's a bit long.
Oh, bit long. Kevin Yeager.
Oh, full star. It's fantastic.
I assumed that when it got to me, it was going to be 3 stars. 0 stars. It's so fucking long. Holy shit. Oh, half a star.
Okay, I was going to say, I'm going to have to give it a full star then.
Half a star. I wrote
So
on
the
here.
same amount of stars as First Blood.
Yes. My notes say I've officially seen enough Deer Hunter to last 2 lifetimes. It's daunting. It is heavy. It's one of those films that I think stands out on its own in terms of there's not a lot of films like this.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
But it does end very patriotically, and that's nice.
Okay, that's my reason why.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we didn't even talk-
Nope. That's the reason why I'm a half star. Not just because of the wedding, because God Bless America, fuck off, so pretentious. When they start singing God Bless America, I almost shut it off.
I do want to address that, or address just the Vietnam genre, since we've just handled 3 in a row. Every single movie, half of the people say, "Oh, that's a complete fabrication." The other half of the people say, "Yes, that's real." It was a dirty, long war. Not every American soldier slaughtered villages of children, but some did.
Yes.
Not every single American POW was mistreated, but some were.
Yes.
And the tenor of Americans back home was vastly different.
And
Very
how many
much
of
so.
them sang God Bless America when their friend died? 0. Come on, guys. Jesus Christ.
It was very weird.
It was.
I'm not going to speak for the families of Vietnam vets.
I sat up in my
comment.
chair. I was like,
Okay.
what?
Yeah.
I sang along.
I just because
If it wasn't for America, none of this amazing stuff would have happened to us.
I just watched Apocalypse Now. Francis Coppola say, he's like, you got to be careful because there's a chance you can get pretentious. And then I watched The Deer Hunter and I was like, and we've become pretentious. All right, folks, let's wrap this whole endeavor up. We are moving on to the lighter side.
Yes, the palate cleanser.
Moonraker.
From Earth to the most spectacular adventure in space, Moonraker. It's out of this world.
Bond.
In space.
Dun, dun, dun.
So yeah, I mean, we're literally.
That was really good.
I was actually awesome. I really appreciate that, guys. I hope we got that on film. This is a James Bond film. I'm a huge James Bond fan. Kevin Yeager, you are a huge James
Bond fan.
Yes. This is known as one of the worst James Bond films by a lot of people.
I 100% agree with a lot of the people.
Scott, you are the one that selected this film, and I think because we started watching James Bond films, and then you're like, let's watch more James Bond films.
I need to watch more James Bond films.
Yes.
And I'm depressed. Just looking at the selections I have to watch.
So you said, let's go with the funner of the Bonds.
Yes.
Which, of course, Roger Moore.
Mm-hmm.
And this is an interesting film in the Bond series because this is the 3rd book by Ian Fleming.
Okay.
Okay. This
By the 3rd book, they're in space.
No, they were not in space in the book.
Yes.
Hence my hatred for the film.
This is one of those wonderful instances in which the makers of the film said, we love the title. Kind of like the name of the bad guy. The rest of it can go to hell. Right? The film before this, which is A Spy Who Loved Me, is highly regarded as one of the better Bond films, is probably the best of the Roger Moore Bond films, maybe
It's
not.
in there.
I think it is the one that solidified in people's minds that Roger Moore could do the role.
Tomato. But
Okay,
yeah, Roger
okay.
Moore's solid.
Yeah, well, he's fine.
Yeah.
He's not high on my list.
Yep.
He's good though. He's good.
Good.
He's good. If he's your Bond, he's good.
There are those Roger Moore Bond people.
There
out
are a
that
lot-
will
well-
die on that. That will die on that hill. That Roger Moore is the guy.
Because a lot of them were into the Smoking the Bandit stunt stuff.
Yeah.
Right, the slapstickiness.
Yeah.
So much so that Hal Needham almost directed a James Bond film. They were in discussions while having Roger Moore play himself. They were in discussions on having Hal make a slapsticky James Bond. However, with this film here, this is specifically made because of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Spy Who Loved Me ends with a thing that says James Bond will return, which they often do.
Yep.
And they list what James Bond is returning in. James Bond was returning in For Your Eyes Only. James Bond does not return For Your Eyes Only because it is 1977-ish.
Yep.
And
Star Wars
happens.
Gotcha.
And so they go, James Bond is going to space.
Right. I can just see him. Oh, go ahead.
So this is my third venture into the James Bond catalog.
Sorry.
I've enjoyed it. They've all been fun movies. This one was a titch long, like 220. That's a little long for a Bond movie.
So long.
But I'll tell you what, that insane gondola chase in Venice.
Oh, yeah.
Where he just gets on a regular gondola. The assassin shows up, so somehow there's a pedal there, turns it into a powerboat, and he's racing through. And then he gets to a dead end and says, what the hell, let's turn it into a hovercraft.
Because as gondolas do.
And he's driving through the plaza and everything. Then it cuts over to a pigeon that does a double.
Oh, the double taking pigeon. Oh my God, dude. Oh my God.
I had to watch that 2-3 times. I'm like, I am in on Bond.
It is readily known as one of the worst Bond sequences of any of the films.
yeah.
This is what people cite as the reason why this film is terrible. The
can
double
see why.
taking pigeon.
The double taking pigeon, dude. I was like, oh my God. You actually put that in your movie.
The best part of that whole sequence is, so just to get him onto the land, they had to, make it look like it's the hovercraft that's starting and he goes up. It just kept tipping over. So 4 times in a row, it just tipped over. And then finally on the 5th time, after making Roger Moore go change his suit over and over and over again, on the last suit they had, they finally got him to go up onto the land. Then they had hired police to kind of keep the crowd because it's a bunch of tourists. You're in the most touristy spot of Venice. Mm-hmm. The police had basically just lined people up in 2 rows like a parade. And they're like, well, this isn't going to work. So they sent the police off and just said, just go. We'll just make it happen. So Roger Moore is driving that goddamn thing through crowds of people who do not know.
Are not expecting it.
And you can see it. They're like jumping out of the way.
I think I noticed one guy falling over pretty aggressively and thinking, I noted it. We're like, that caught my eye.
How would you like to be the actor that is put into a vehicle that does not drive very well? And then just don't hit anyone, but they don't know you're coming. Right. So if I was the pigeon, I'd double take too.
Yeah. Or Bonds or Roger Moore's like, these are all stunt actors, right? And he's like, yeah, they know you're coming.
Yes, we blew a whistle.
They're solid. They're solid.
Yeah, wait for the pigeon's cue.
Those guys are solid.
Oh, it's so bad. It really is so bad. But there are other parts of this film that I actually think hold up pretty well. I was really impressed by the space stuff. I was excited. No. Really? No. Not the space fight.
The space fight's awesome. The space fight's so awesome.
The space fight is
everybody just might as well just like you're sitting in a chair. Pew pew pew. Pew, pew,
okay.
Pew, pew,
Let me walk that all the way back. Let me walk it all the way back. The action in the space stuff is horrific. But if you're a consumer of Bond, by the time they get to the evil lair, it's chaos.
There has to be the big fight.
Yeah, yeah. When the ninjas are coming down from the ceiling in other Bond films, I don't go, oh, wow, this is fantastic. It's just chaos, right? So to me, it was, okay, this is chaos in space. But it holds up pretty good in terms of visually. I expected to turn this on and get to that portion and be like, oh my God, that's horrific.
Yeah.
It looked really good. I thought.
Even like the docking.
Yeah.
When they docked the space shuttle to it, it's like, that looked pretty damn good.
Do you know how they did that?
They really did it.
Yeah. And, well, not really. They weren't really in space.
Oh. My mistake.
They just did the typical technique of rewinding the exposure. So they would shoot one sequence and then put the next element in and then just reshoot it. And they were just exposing just those portions of the film, which is an old technique, but it held up extremely well in this film.
It worked.
Yeah, I was really impressed by that. The problem with that is when you get to the chaos sequence, when you get to the final part where you're like, ooh, now there's all the guys in the space. 46 exposures. They had to rewind the film. So that film ran through the camera 92 times or 82 times or whatever math is. 92 times. I was right.
Yeah, you got it. You got it. Way to go.
Right. So that film, think about that. If you had a speck of dust that just scratched across it, see you later, it's gone. But yeah, they just
Reran it.
Just go again. I don't even understand how the math on that works, but it looks good. Also, this was supposed to coincide with the NASA shuttle. They were supposed to kind of be a 1-for-1, like the NASA shuttle's going up and our film is out.
I was wondering, was this before the first space shuttle launch?
So this actually was supposed to coincide at the same time. They were supposed to be like almost like a promotional thing.
The hubbub was out.
The hubbub was out. The design had already been created. They worked in tandem with it to have the same type of scenario going. So yes, this is a lot of people's first exposure to the shuttle, which is pretty cool when you think about it, like how long the shuttle actually lasted for.
Yeah. And Jaws does the heel turn.
Face turn.
The face turn, the heel to face.
Yeah.
And I love how Bond convinces him. It's like, you love this woman. But you know that he's trying to create a genetically superior race.
Yes.
And the woman you love has pigtails.
Right.
That is inferior.
Spoiler. I got bad news for you. Yeah.
For pigtails. I thought it was that she was short and had really thick glasses.
Huge tits.
Yeah, well, okay. Well, that's space, Scott.
Yeah.
Everything looks bigger. Pretty cool. I think that by the end of it, I was okay with it. I came away from this believing that I was going to hate this movie 100%. I liked it more on this viewing than I've ever liked it.
It was super campy, but I found it fun.
As are the Roger Moore films, right?
Yeah. There's a really good dichotomy in the Roger Moore films because they do hit a lot of the slapstick, double taken pigeons, slide whistles in the other movies and shit like that.
God, the slide whistle.
But when he is on, he's fucking on.
He's
good.
Yeah, he's good.
The G-force machine where they turn him up to like 17 Gs and he almost dies.
Yeah.
Like his face in that thing, and when he gets out, like he's acting his ass off there.
Yeah.
Or even the fencing scene with the weird Asian guy. There's always a weird Asian guy.
Well,
henchman.
It's James Bond.
But even that, like when you see from the other guy's point of view and Roger Moore's trying to stab him with the sword, it's like, oh, he means that shit.
Yeah.
And then what my favorite parts of that movie is before that part where he grabs the sword, when he goes to hide in the room with all the glass cases, hiding all the really valuable stuff. He's running away from this guy. He runs into the room and he just goes right behind a glass case and just hunkers down just a little bit. And he just like sits and looks, and the guy comes running into the room, looks one way, and then the lights come on and he goes, aha! And he just smashes him. It's like, buddy, you're hiding behind glass.
Those are record-breaking shots there. Record-breaking. Want to know how they did the G-force scene where he's in the centrifuge?
Yes, I do.
So
big fan?
Yeah, they sat him down. He's strapped in, and then he has an air hose that he's holding himself.
Okay.
Just blowing it in his own face.
Yeah, it worked.
Just shaking his cheeks and just
sold me on it.
Worked super well.
Yeah, I love stuff like that. I also love that he was just doing it himself. So it's like,
Right.
They didn't.
Right. I said he acted his ass off.
They didn't do the Jim Henson thing where they put a midget in front of him.
Hire as many people as possible.
Instead, they're like, just hold it off screen a little bit.
Well, at least as far as we know, maybe it started out with somebody trying to help him with the hose, and he's
The
like,
midget
okay,
flew off. The
get out
midget
of here.
flew off.
I got this. All right, I can do it myself.
Can we not have the man in my lap?
Yeah. Kevin, you are a huge James Bond fan. Your take
Goodness. So I'm one of my issues with this is I'm also a big, huge, Ian Fleming fan. So this is really my problem with this film, and I just could never get over it. This is to me is the sellout film.
Yeah.
I could just they're like, okay, we're gonna make a Bond film. What do you want to do? Oh, Star Wars thing's huge. What you got one that what's Fleming got?
Yeah, you got one that sounds.
He's got Moonraker. He's like, oh, sounds right. Sounds right. He's got lasers. No lasers.
Does
Is
now.
it in outer space? Nope, not outer space.
It is now.
Spacecraft? Nope, no spacecraft. He's like,
You sure do.
let's do it anyways.
You know what he says? Robert Broccoli goes, it has just one piddly little rocket. That's how he refers to the book. This is one piddly rocket.
And also they're like, oh, I think we can milk out this Jaws thing one more. Right?
Yeah.
So like Jaws came out in 70s, whatever.
Yeah.
So the film before. Here's what we need. We need our henchman. He's gonna have these steel teeth. You've seen Jaws. He's gonna have big. It's gonna be. We're gonna use Jaws, right? And I can see him with this, and they're like, I think we can get him one more out of this, right?
Well, the kids loved him.
Yeah,
It was the kids.
exactly.
And they were writing letters to the studio like, why are you making him a bad guy?
Right.
It's so cool. So
The book is really good, though. So what I would say to read the book, the book is really, really good. There's really nothing similar other than the same bad guy's name, the same bad guy. But really, other than that, there's like trying to steal a rocket from the British government or something.
It's an intercontinental ballistic missile.
It's your normal Bond fare, right?
Yeah, and to be fair, to their credit, the last film, the guy is trying to destroy the world, right? So then you're like, one piddly rocket ain't going to cut it.
Right.
Have you seen Star Wars?
Right.
We got to blow this up.
Yeah.
Which is my favorite part of this film is when they blow up the actual space station.
oh God.
They couldn't figure out how to do it because you're in space, the vacuum of space. So you can't have any explosions. So they just got a couple of 12 gauge shotguns, closed down the sound stage, and just shot the shit out of the models. They blow it. They don't blow it up. They shoot it with 12 gauge shotguns.
That's awesome.
And once you see that, you like rewatching, like, this is pretty freaking
Okay,
sweet.
maybe I like it after that.
It's pretty sweet. It's pretty sweet.
At the end of the movie,
Yes.
when the escape hatch wasn't opening, so Jaws went and helped
Yeah.
Bond get out, and then the place explodes, and then Jaws is just launched into space. Bond looks at Goodhead.
Yes.
Says, "This should be fine. Earth's only like 100 miles away."
And my other comment is you just hit upon it. Is we've been talking about this film for quite some time before we even talked about the Bond girl.
Yes.
Totally forgettable in my opinion.
100%.
Great name.
The first girl
Yeah.
that worked for the bad guy was way better.
Yeah.
Way
They
better.
should have got her. Yeah.
And really bizarre because, like typically it's like, oh, we got this, gigantic beauty here. And she's, okay. But can't act.
No.
And
Nope,
she's
pretty
not
un-
even, she's an American.
Yep.
So I think she's the first American Bond girl. And you went with just plain Jane, who also can't act. And I know she can't act because the other day I was watching, I believe it's Death on the Nile.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure she's in that as well. And I was like,
think you're right.
she also can act in
I think you're
this.
right. I think she's more known for stage stuff.
Well, she should be more known for staying home.
Yeah, she should be more known as the secretary.
Okay, all right. I didn't mean like that. I didn't mean it like that. I just meant like don't come on the set.
Yeah, she should be more known for making me sandwiches.
Marlon, that's what you're making it sound like. I said, and that's not what I meant.
was staying
No, not what I meant. What I meant was listen.
Stay in the kitchen.
In Superman, Marlon Brando wanted to be a suitcase. I think you could have had the Bond girl be a suitcase in this, and it would have been more memorable.
Oh, 100%. It's a head scratcher to me. I'm like, if
really
you're the
bad.
person in charge of the Bond girl,
Yeah.
how can you screw it up?
She's really bad. She's
Well,
really
you
bad.
could cast Denise Richards.
It's funny that why are the American ones always so bad? Because you can go super exotic, and they have with the Bond girls.
Yep.
Can't talk is kind of that's an 80s thing, but in the 60s too, they would hire a lot of beautiful women, and they just like be so foreign that you can't understand a word they say.
Yeah.
But at least you're like, okay, I get it. You don't actually speak this language. This is an American, and she can't speak. She's terrible. But alas, I did enjoy this. I got done, and I did have a lot of fun with this movie. It's ridiculous. It's really stupid.
Ridiculous.
It's really stupid.
But it's a palate cleanser after the other.
Absolutely.
Let's be honest, though. The worst Bond film is better than half the shit.
It really is. It really is. I got done and I was like, okay, maybe I don't hate Moonraker as much as I thought I did.
It's got such a great name, too. It might have one of the better names for all of the Bond stuff.
They do that.
Moonraker, it's awesome.
They do that with a lot of them, too. Like a lot of it is just stealing the name and making their own story. So it doesn't bother me quite as much, but I also have not read this book. So
book's great.
I have read a lot of the Bond books.
Read it, sorry.
Okay, I think that's it for this one, folks. Thumbs up, thumbs down on Moonraker.
I'll give it a half a star.
Okay.
I'll give it a half.
Oh, wow.
I'm a half also. Just can't steal from Star Wars. Just you can try, but you can't do it.
If we are putting these two next to each other, the Deer Hunter and Moonraker, and the Deer Hunter was only half a star, Moonraker is 5 stars.
I'm out of here.
I'm just kidding. You know what? I'm going to give it a full star because it deserves 1 full star because it's James Bond. An excellent film. I'm now remembering what I was going to say about Deer Hunter that I forgot to say about the length of it, but we'll do that after the break. We'll do that after the drop. Thank you to Kevin Yeager. We got to get out of here. So thank you to Kevin Yeager. Thank you to the Boutros.
Yes.
Thank you to Gabe.
Thank you.
And thank you to you, the listeners. We'll be back next week, back into our regular scheduling. And then we will be on to 1983. So start sending stuff over to us for 1983, the films, the television, all that stuff. And then we're just right back on the rocket ship and moving forward. And then when we get to the end of the second decade of the 80s, the late 80s, we'll have Kevin Yeager back on. And we'll do another one of these
Awesome. Yeah, count me in. Like to be here.
Episodes.
Yeah.
And with that, folks, we're done. Here's the deal. And I think we've run into a problem with movies where movies have started to get too long again. Used to be too long, 70s.
Too long, but art.
Too long in art. Now it's too long in slop. But used to be too long. And then there was this part in the middle where they stopped being so long. And I have a theory. It's the double VHS. The double VHS saved people like myself from having to watch these long movies. And not only that, that's twice as much for our product.
Might be onto something.
So there's this time frame in which the double VHS created from a standpoint of a filmmaker who's financing it. That's too much product. I gotta pay. That's
costs
too much.
twice as much to make.
It costs twice as much to ship. It costs twice as much space on the shelf. My theory is that the double VHS brought down times on our movies. I can't confirm that, but I've got a feeling that that's the case because now that the VHS is gone, then we're back to these 4-hour movies again. Get them out of here. So here's what I'm saying. Here's
Love the theory.
Here's what I'm saying, folks. Let's get back to physical media just so I don't have to watch 20 minutes of a wedding.
I think he's attempting re-entry, sir.
Oh, that was a good episode.